The crisp fall weather that we all enjoy is not only pleasant to be outside in, but is also a reminder that winter is just around the corner. Don't be caught off guard this year when that first snow arrives. Designing Spaces got together with our friends at Morton Salt to get some tips on preparing for the onslaught of winter.
I'm a firm believer in being prepared, but every winter seems to sneak up on me. This year, I want to be ready, even for blizzards.
Designing Spaces brought in Emily Arthurs from Morton Salt to give us all some important pointers on how to reduce winter surprises.
It seems like every year I find myself caught off guard by the start of winter.
Sure.
I find myself looking for my shovels and then running out to buy ice melt at the first snowfall.
There are a number of things that you can do to prepare your home this fall for the upcoming winter, such as checking the steps and sidewalks and handrails to make sure that they don't need any repairs, and then of course leading into making sure you have enough ice melt on hand before the first snowfall.
Well, I'll be checking our walkways around the property.
The other thing I would recommend you doing is actually checking your bushes and your trees and pull any dead branches off and clean those up as well, because once winter comes with heavy ice and snowfall, those branches will actually fall down and they could damage your property, like on your roof or a window or even your car.
Emily was making some good points about the landscaping. You know, we've had branches come down in heavy snow. Time to pay attention to the yard.
Also, while you're outside, I would check the gutters and take out any debris so that the water doesn't build up there and freeze, and even cover your flower beds so they're ready for the spring.
Well, one thing I always do is make sure I have my tools ready.
Okay.
My husband, I make sure he checks the snowblower, and then we always have a shovel within reach.
Good, you should be ready for the first storm. Make sure you have plenty of ice melt on hand as well, because you want to make sure your driveways and sidewalks are safe for your family and neighbors.
Ice melt? You mean salt?
Not necessarily. Not all ice melts contain salt. You should find a product that meets your specific winter needs and also works effectively in your climate. Most people don't understand how ice melt products work. The formulations can be different from product to product. You could buy a fast-acting blend or a blend that's specially formulated to be safer for pets and concrete, but they all work based on the same chemistry.
All de-icers, salt or blends, attract moisture to form liquid brine. This brine has a lower melting point than the ice and snow around it, so it begins to melt its colder surroundings. When ice forms, a thin layer of liquid is present. The ice product dissolves into this liquid to lower the freezing point and kickstart the melting process. Once you understand a few basics, you can see the different blends really do aid in particular snow and ice circumstances.
When should I apply the ice melt?
Actually, before and after the storm. If you apply before, you'll actually have an easier time shoveling. So it'll form a nice slush barrier, you'll remove that and then reapply.
Good to know. Well, what about pets? I love my dog, and I want to make sure that my outdoor surfaces are safe for my dog during the winter months.
You're not alone. There's a lot of people who are looking for products like that. Morton actually has a solution called Morton Safety Pet. It was developed with veterinarians, and it's less irritating to pets' paws than chloride melters. And it's also a small little rounded pellet instead of a jagged crystal, so it won't cut into the pet paws either.
Well, there are a lot of dogs in this neighborhood. I'll make sure that I use Safety Pet out front on the sidewalk.
That sounds like a great plan.
Now what about the car? In the winter months, I always try to keep blankets and a flashlight in the car.
Well, you're off to a great start. I'd add some road flares and a first aid kit and maybe some towels and a bag of Morton Action Melt, which if you ever get stuck in the snow, will provide traction under your wheels.
Great ideas. I'm gonna do all you suggested.
Then you're doing what you need to do this fall to make sure you're prepared for this winter. And make sure to have plenty of Morton Ice Melt on hand as well for when you need it.
Thanks.
It was very helpful having Emily drop by and give me some very useful pointers. Thanks Designing Spaces and Morton Salt for making it happen.
In preparation for this winter, we recommend that you have the right ice melt product for your needs on hand. And before any major snow event, you apply that ice melt product to the walking and driving surfaces around your home. That will help keep your family safe this winter.
To see this portion of the show again, go to designingspaces.tv and click on the Morton Salt video. You will also find a link to mortonmelters.com there.
You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.